Hello and welcome to Admit One, your movie and TV podcast, right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I guess it's a special podcast now, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's not a weekly or a monthly or a regular or a semi-regular. It's
Whenever the fuck.
Yeah.
Whenever the fuck. Ad hoc.
Ad hoc's good, but I think we should just coin the term the whenever the fuck.
The Whenever the Fuck podcast.
It's one word, whenever the fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't be like, whenever the fuck. No. Whenever the fuck. Yeah. That is absolutely what this is.
Idea 7?
Fucking jot it down. You could just have, I'll get to it whenever the fuck.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. I'll get to it. Oh, God, that's a lot of words.
We could figure out a way to spell it really stupidly as well. Make it look like an actual word.
Yeah, W-E-N-E-V-A. It's got to be T-H still.
Whenever the fuck. Yeah, because it's not whenever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's whenever the fuck. So still T-H-E and then like F-U-Q-U-E or something.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. I'm going to write that down too. Whenever the... Oh, no, let's do it P-H.
Oh. It's like fat in the 90s
Yeah,
all over
yeah.
again.
Then do the hand clicky thing.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I've never been able to do that.
I can't do that. Who is here?
Hannah is here.
Hannah is here. Who else is here? If Rich isn't here, he's fired.
I don't think he's seen... Has he seen The Marvels?
I don't know. He said on the Helldiver stream the other day that he was going to watch it before today.
Oh, I see.
Whether he has or not is a different thing.
Do a quick...
I'll be like, you are always here, Hannah. We can always rely on that.
Indeed.
Unless it's press start. Was that Pearl Jam, Pink, or Green Day?
You mean Deep Purple, not Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam, Deep Purple, The Police. They're all the fucking same. Judas Priest. Breaking the law, breaking your mum.
Now, question: do you want to crack on with the show, or should we go rogue, or should we wait in case other people turn up? I mean, I was always expecting this would be a low numbers show.
For sure.
It's kind of just for our own sake for doing the ranking, really.
Oh yeah, I know, but it'd still be nice. Are you joining, or are we firing you?
That's Jack texting Daddy, by the way, just for clarification.
I won't put. Are we? Are you joining, or are we going to have words?
Yeah, I like that.
It's less aggressive, but also equally as aggressive.
Yep. If he asks when we're going to have words, just tell him whenever the fuck.
I'm going to send a blowy kiss emoji. Are you joining, or are we going to have words blowy kiss? We can... we'll interrupt to do a goes rogue.
So we'll go rogue in the most roguish way.
Yeah. In the middle of, I would say, a sentence.
It's fine by me. I mean, I was looking forward to eating, but it's fine. We can do that. We can do that.
I've got to sweat off some calories before I'm allowed chocolate.
This is fair.
Are we going to send him a blowy? Yes. I already have. Released at some point on the 10th of November. I had to scroll up.
I see.
10th of November 2023 with a budget of $220 million estimated and a worldwide gross of $206 million, 100,225. I think this is the first Marvel movie to make a loss.
Yeah, that's not enough dollar.
There's not enough dollar.
Damn.
There's not enough dollar. I'm not surprised. I'm worried for the future of superhero content in general, excluding Deadpool 3.
Why? Why is it doing that? We literally fixed it.
Do you mean out of sync?
It's definitely what she means. We fixed that. Because it did it last week and no one told us. And then we tested it before the stream and adjusted it. I'm going to do a clap. And then if you can tell me if the sound is before or after the video, please and thank you.
You don't think it's the stream and the video are different?
It crossed my mind, but that shouldn't be possible. No, it's not, because I checked that the other day. I checked the stream.
It's before the clap. So
It needs to name further again.
yeah. We definitely fixed it before the fucking show. I hate everything.
We need to just bite the bullet and do this capture card thing.
Yes. Stupid. I'm a clap again. Don't know why I built up so much.
I'm just waiting for the okay.
Yeah. That's why I clapped. This would be a great time for my coat trick. For fuck's sake. Look.
Great content, this.
Yeah. Good thing you have such an attractive forehead. God, that delay is like 9 weeks.
So bad.
That was in sync. I'll probably go out of sync again in like 20 minutes.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Right. Yes, no, that's a film that's not been successful. You said that you're not surprised. Why is that? Because actually, I am surprised. I know, like, everyone's falling off a little bit.
Did I?
You said you're not surprised. Or it's
I
not
don't remember
surprising or something. Mind you, as I was talking, though, I have just realized about to contradict myself, because I didn't. I watched this film for the first time yesterday. I didn't go and see it at the cinema. I didn't see it when it came out. It's been on Disney Plus for, like, what, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
I watched it yesterday for the first time. Like, I've not rushed to watch it either, because actually, like many, I'm just kind of fed up with the MCU missing. And then that's kind of discouraged me from caring about keeping up with it.
Yeah, for sure. I probably wouldn't have if I didn't enjoy the cinema. That's we're the only ones here. Do you want to start again? No, I can't. I can't be bothered. No one's going to watch it on YouTube anyway, so who gives a fuck? We've hit that point. Our own staff can't even show up. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I mean, I enjoy the cinema as a concept and as an activity.
Yeah, I get it.
So I go. I just find an excuse to go. But Hannah was the same. She didn't watch it in the cinema. Only watched it last night for whatever the reason may have been. I can't remember. But I think most people were like that. Clearly.
Yeah.
And the when the reviews started coming out, they didn't help it either. Even though I think they were too harsh, because I just don't think anyone knows how to genuinely critique anything anymore.
No, that's a problem across the board with everything. The journalism has died.
It's not journalism's died. It's intelligence has died.
Fair point.
Like, no one knows how to critique things anymore, because we're all in this fucking nearly every single outlet is like this weird cross-contamination bias nonsense. Whether it's games, movies, whatever, they have this thing. There's this narrative for some reason with pop culture that needs to be followed. and it's the done thing to hate on Marvel movies, so everyone's going to hate on Marvel movies. You're better off actually going to something like The Times or the Washington Post or something where you...
Rabbit Hole Media.
Yeah, Rabbit Hole Media. Absolutely. Last Stand. Whatever it may be. Not that they really talk about movies, but because... we don't give a flying fuck about narrative, and neither do these actual critics, these actual journalists that just so happen to be talking about movies, not people who have gone in specifically to talk about movies and stuff. To be fair, when Charlie was staff, he never showed either. Honestly, I was completely shocked when he showed up at his own wedding. So... So I do think it's ridiculous, and it keeps happening over and over and over again. There's obviously when the show came out, there was shit stirring for The Last of Us, and just more shit stirring about the game, even though the game wasn't the topic of conversation. But then the same people turn around and go, "Oh, you changed the game. Fuck you in your face, you prick!" Like you were the one. You were the one who said this is shit and this is awful, and now you are the one complaining that they've changed it. And it's people don't know how to actually critique anymore. A lot of it's been happening again with Avatar that's just come out on Netflix. People just going straight at it. So, oh, you've made a change, right? Because it's a 20-year-old cartoon coming into a new live-action series. That's this first season is 8 episodes, not 23. Like things are gonna get changed. Like doesn't mean you have to like the changes. Whatever. I'm kind of going off track. But if you can't tell, I just watched Avatar. It's on my brain. But I think with the Marvels in particular, it came at the tail end of some. Not awful, but less than stellar movies, other than Guardians 3. But also, it was just, as I say, part of the narrative to... It's pushing buttons. It's just part of the narrative to hate on these movies, regardless. Because you still saw people trying to be like, oh, Guardians 3 shit. And you're just like, you outed yourself. Because that's not the consensus.
Oh, we put it second in the ranking.
We did. It's the second best movie in all of the MCU. So you definitely misread the tea leaves on that one. And that's because all of these Twitter virgins... I didn't even mean to call them that. That just came out.
The thing is, and we've said this before, Twitter isn't a real place.
No, it's not. But it's where everyone gets their information now, which is the problem. And it's where everyone judges everything. It's where... The only time I take reviews seriously is when there is an outlet consensus. And the only numbers I really look at with any kind of is like amalgamation numbers.
Yeah.
So IMDb or like Metacritic or Rotten Tomato or something. Rotten Tomato is probably the better one because it separates the audience. And the audience scores are usually wild, and they're not worth paying attention to at all because there's no vetting of anyone. You should have to link all of your accounts, your Netflix, your everything, to a Metacritic account, and you have to have watched it. Have to have watched it to be able to put a review. Don't know how that would work in the cinema, but that's not my problem to solve. But yeah, I just think it's a bit crazy. Not that it was the best movie in the world, so we can get into a bit of general thoughts. You didn't.
We kind of have been on these shows, have just been doing it all together.
Yeah, that's true. So what are your overall thoughts on the Marvels?
I mostly had an okay time with this film.
Yep, I think it's absolutely fine.
There are definitely some problems with it.
Yeah.
But most of the problems are kind of like... Actually, the kind of similar problems we've said about the MCU recently anyway. I feel like it kind of makes mistakes with some of the sense of humor it goes for, treats itself as a parody in a few areas, which just isn't the right humor that works, I don't think. Similar to Love and Thunder, not as egregious or as bad as Love and Thunder, but similar kind of issues. I think in a few areas, not all of them. It's not the weightiest plot. Obviously, it's quite a short film.
Yeah, it's one of the shortest ones.
Still not paced brilliantly. It felt a little long still. It got slow in a few places. And I think mainly like the negative for me is just that, this isn't one of the top draw Marvel movies. But that's it. That's the only real criticism. Like, and that's not necessarily, like as we've said before with this MCU ranking in general, is there's 33 movies including this one. The fact that 28, 29 of those are really, really good movies. Like, it's difficult because then the films you say is the ones that are on the lower half are still good movies, even though they're at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, yeah, it's a weird conversation to have, actually. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's a couple of problems. Maybe some slight nepotism with Mrs. Hiddleston. Clearly didn't get there on her talent.
Agreed.
Probably one of the worst.
She's the villain, right?
Yeah. What? Nothing.
Really, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
In every facet.
Villain and also shit performance.
Yeah. Not just a poor... It was, okay, so she's poor from a script point of view.
Yeah. It was a very bland, flaccid performance.
Yeah. Nothing. Got absolutely nothing from it.
Yeah.
It's just... I feel like you got here because... You married Loki, and I don't really understand how you're here, because I actually think this movie has got some really good performances in it, which makes
really, really good stuff actually in it.
Which makes her stand out as sucking even more, because I think Iman Vellani gives the best performance. I think
she is excellent.
Agreed.
I mean, she's excellent in Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's brilliant in that. In this movie, she's perfect. She's exactly what that character needs to be. Plays off Captain Marvel and Rambo really well. The three of them actually had really good chemistry together as well, which is nice. But she plays off them really well, and she's almost a comic relief in certain ways, but not all the time. It's because she's got that right balance everywhere, and I think she does a brilliant job of finding that balance too, of knowing when to be a bit serious and being able to have the right emotional weight just to the right amount and everything.
Agreed.
And she does really well in the action scene.
Agreed. And I think, she's played as a little bit of comic relief, but she's not the only one that's making jokes, which I think is important. But also, like, all of the comic relief, she's not just making gags, she's just very excited.
She's just, the joke is that she's an excited teenager.
Yeah.
And it's not it's not the kind of humor that we've disregarded from Marvel in the past, where it's just, look how stupid these people all are.
Yeah,
it's not that either. You know,
no.
It's a joke on her character, but not that she's stupid.
No,
and that's nice and refreshing too. And I think they played that really well. And then the balance against those other characters, and like her against Nick Fury has some really funny moments. Obviously, her with Captain Marvel has some funny moments. Her in general, just when she's riffing away when they're trying to be serious and stuff, it works really well.
I never thought someone saying "Oh my God" so many times throughout an hour 45 minute would tickle me so much. But to be fair, for an excited teenager, there were many a time where "Oh my God" was relevant. Watching a cat eat a man.
That's the right "Oh my God."
Yeah. Suddenly being in space, I feel, is a very I think I would have said worse.
Yes.
What the fuck?
To be honest, Jack, as you would have been about time.
It was that. Let me puncture the suit. Yeah, this is my chance. Start headbutting shit. Finally, reprieve. But yeah, so I think just water was flowing,
gushing
vividly. I think it just made all their performances from her family, Captain Marvel, Rambo, Fury. I think It's nice to see good Fury again
Fury
after
was- yeah.
after Secret Invasion's nonsense.
This is how Fury's supposed to be again as well. It was kind of similar to old school Fury. Like, he was there for... Like, it made sense that he was there. He got involved in a badass way when he needed to, but the rest of the time he was just kind of a little bit fed up, a bit sarky.
Like,
There's a fucking hilarious bit when they're still working out the power switching, right? And like Miss Marvel's falling, like Kamala's falling, and then Rambo's got to go get her, and then they're both falling just before they hit the floor.
The switch.
Miss Marvel.
oh, good, it's just Carol.
Oh, it's just Carol. But the cut of it as well, the timing of it was fucking excellent because it's so quick.
I actually think what I thought from the trailers was going to be a really shit gimmick. The switching stuff was really good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All the way through, if it was excellent. I thought when they were trying to work it out, well, I think the way they introduced it of just like, this is the mystery of the film, first of all, I think was actually quite good. Cause
Yeah,
like,
and then that first fight scene where they were with the switching.
And they're still working
Yeah,
it out.
yeah, they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
They don't
it's
work
just
it out until
on
way
it.
after this. Yeah.
They played that off really well of each of them being like, what is happening? And obviously like they switch at awkward times. So they're mid-move and then suddenly like they got to relearn the fight essentially. And then as they work it out throughout the movie, the stuff in the final fight sequences when they've got it down, I actually think there's some of the most interesting fight sequences we've seen in a really, really long time, I think, and some really good use of all their powers, especially Miss Marvel's. We said in the show that actually they've made her powers quite interesting and a lot of potential for it. And we said the show didn't quite reveal or utilize all of that potential of her powers.
No,
It's
no.
doing it a lot more in the movie.
100%. You can clearly tell like some training has been had.
Yeah.
Like some awesome practice, shall we say, has been had. She's a lot more capable than she was in that show. And budgets help.
Yep.
But time passing and just getting that character in the hands of other people and what have you. But it is nice in general just to see something from the shows
Yes.
pay off
Yep.
to the movies.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Actually, I didn't even consider that. That's probably one of the things that was most satisfying about this movie for me is like we're finally actually starting to see a little bit of things coming together.
Yeah.
Like, my big criticism of the MCU for the past phase,
This has been chaos.
it's been chaos and nothing's coming to anything. And although it's not a big picture just yet, you're starting to see things start to come together. And
Yeah,
actually,
there's-
with the scenes towards the end of the movie, you're starting to see more and more of it linked together and more. There's still some teasing and they're still setting things up, but in a way which is actually starting to feel more cohesive now.
Yeah, it's still adding ingredients to the melding pot, but it's starting to actually become.
This feels
something
like a phase 2 movie.
Yes.
Which, in a way, it is. Like, if you think about it, like phase 1, 2, 3 is kind of its own trilogy to create the Infinity Saga, and now phase 4 to 6 is then obviously going to be this multiverse saga, which is changing and whatnot, and everything with Kang.
Yeah, they're doing a reboot, but not really calling it a reboot because obviously they're going to want to keep things. So.
But phase 4 was essentially, and I've said this before, phase 4 kind of becomes phase 1 again because you're introducing these new characters, you've got to start setting it up. But they made a mishmash of it. Phase 5, we've only had 2 or 3 things, right? I've lost count of what's phase 5.
This is the third movie, yeah.
Right. And so far, this is feeling like what you'd expect from phase 2.
Yeah.
Starting to bring things together. You've got characters crossing over. They're all a bit more accomplished.
Yeah, the awkward thing is obviously because of the Jonathan Majors scenario, which isn't Marvel's fault, obviously. But some of this phase 2 stuff has been undone already, which is a little bit annoying. But you could just take Quantumania and be like, Cassie was what you were getting from the setup you were getting from that movie.
Precisely.
Clearly, she's coming back. She was mentioned at the end of this movie. For that whole Kamala trying to be Nick Fury scene. I did enjoy that. If this is top secret information, why has he got a clear back? I enjoyed that. Is that the new iPad? Don't be silly. She said, "I wish," though. That was the response. Was like, that's clearly better than an iPad. What are you talking about?
And you have it.
Yeah. So even if it was or isn't, you was in. Well, it's strange. It was just a strange response. The slips of Aunt Carol instead of Captain Marvel. I think Everyone was. All the leads were good in this movie. 100%.
Should we have some chocolate?
Let's.
So I went to a shop today.
Hang on. Richard's just replied, hope show goes well, out celebrating the boy's 13th birthday. So words it is. A justifiable,
I know what you're going to say. Justifiable reason
yes,
to not be present.
to not be
You
present.
definitely knew about that on Friday.
Yes.
When he said he was going to be.
Yeah. That's
Anyway,
it.
I
She
went.
said they wish. I heard I wish.
I heard I wish, but I believe you
I also believe you.
because that makes more sense.
It does make more sense, but this is Marvel, where they decided to make it a big news report that Avengers 5 was no longer going to be called Kang Dynasty. And
Yes.
it was like, no shit.
So I went to a shop for some food shopping, and I was looking for a particular bar of chocolate that wasn't this one, which is one that I've been eating at work and been thoroughly enjoying, which I will save for another day when I'm able to get my hands on it. But I spotted this because I couldn't find what I was looking for, and I spotted this. This is Cadbury White Confetti, or as Jack called it, cheesy confetti. I thought I'd pick up to give it a try for a number of reasons. A, I've not had this before. It's new, even says so on the packet. It is white chocolate with, let me read it, sugar-coated milk chocolate beans and oat biscuit pieces.
Smarties.
Smarties with oat biscuit.
Hobnobs.
But that sounds great.
It does. It does. It depends if they've fixed their
The cheese issue.
the Parmesan-y.
Yeah, but this is I didn't see as much of the cheesy thing as you did. But this is the thing that you've said. You've been wanting to retry it because you've been having the.
I've been eating the cream eggs, and it's been.
Yeah.
It just tastes like white chocolate.
So, hopefully, this is gonna be better.
Hopefully, we'll find out.
I'm excited because I want some chocolate.
So do I. I've eaten too much today.
Oh, it's very beany.
Flick it.
Smells like chocolate.
It doesn't smell like cheddar, which is a good sign. I don't know why I was expecting to be blown away.
It's perfectly adequate.
Yes. The ratios are off.
You think it needs more bits?
Yeah. Yeah, because
I agree.
they're essentially flavourless.
Because they're just doing texture.
Yes. Does it mean we won't eat more, does it, fuck?
Oh no, it's still nice.
You haven't been happy in 27 days? I was making a joke.
What's your verdict on the cheese?
It's not cheesy. Which is good. Do you think it tastes cheesy?
No. Was it ever cheesy? Or was it that it just isn't as good as Milky Bar and the Toblerone that we had been having at the time, so we were comparing it?
But why would it make it taste like cheese as opposed to just not be very nice?
Tongues are weird. I don't know what to tell you.
The things they can do to a book. It's quite fun. Chocolate. Ba-da-da-da. Back to movie. While we still eat chocolate. Oh. I'm going to have to break some now. Ooh!
You smartied on my floor.
I've not broken that well.
To be fair, that's not a normal shaped bar. It's
No,
all just like
it's not.
mishmashy. You flicked your bean at yourself.
That was a piece of chocolate. I'm
gonna have to get
those later. They're miles away. Have you both had a funny turn?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I
You
have.
fed me edibles.
I have. I have had alcohol this evening too.
I haven't.
Would you like some?
Yes.
Later, maybe.
Notes. The singing planet is silly.
Thank you. I wanted to talk about the Singing Planet so much because we were watching it, and when the Singing Planet happened, Camilla went, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" When Camilla said something like that, and I kind of was like, I understand the gag they're going for, but this is where I feel like it falls into the Love and Thunder territory, where it's like this sort of thing would make sense in a superhero parody movie. Fine. And I probably would enjoy it in that. And this just irritated me. But it irritated me even more because I was doing some reading this evening. Apparently, the planet that it is, Adana, I think it was called, or something similar.
Aladna or something.
Yeah, something
I
like
kept thinking Aladdin, so Aladna or something.
is in the comics, in a Captain Marvel comic. And like the film, she's a princess and married to the prince. However, in the comics, it is that their language is rhyme. And they all speak in rhyme.
That would have been much better.
Yeah, that's absolutely better. That's fine. I would have been completely okay with that. That could have been genuinely funny if written well as well.
Yeah.
So why did they change it to song? That's not better. That's just silly.
Yeah. Because it doesn't make sense. Like, as a language. Because why can you not understand the same words?
Yes.
Does that mean you have to sing in a... Following your own logic, you would have to sing a specific melody. Because otherwise, if you change the melody, you can no longer understand the words. Because that's literally all you've done with speaking. You've changed a melody. So it's just completely illogical. Completely illogical. And moving from there, we got the third shittest part of this movie, which is all of their suits.
Oh.
They suck. They suck ass.
We said this about the trailer.
Yeah, they're awful.
Don't look good.
No, they're awful.
And they did like a reveal for them.
And they're shit.
And that was really disappointing.
Because they're shit.
Yeah, they are. They look like Halloween costumes.
It's not even the quality. I'm not saying not the quality of the suit. It's the design.
The design is plain and uninteresting as well.
It's not even that. Like, I feel Miss Marvel's suit is over-designed. Miss Marvel's one is over. There's too many like Miss Marvel's suit was perfect
From the show.
Yeah.
excellent.
And the one at the beginning of the movie is perfect. Didn't need to change it whatsoever. Captain Marvel has had some excellent suits throughout her time. Again, even the one at the beginning of the movie was perfectly fine. Not her best one, but perfectly fine. The least offensive one is Rambo's. But still not great. That's the one I feel like actually from a quality standpoint didn't.
I think it's more
up.
that I think it's more that the suits they have in the earlier stage of this film are all better than the final suits.
Yes. Gesundheit.
Sorry, that came out of nowhere.
I agree. I completely agree. I think these are some of the worst suits we've had in the MCU.
Completely agree.
Like, it's just really disappointing. She did wear Crocs. I didn't mind the fact that she wore Crocs. She was just, you've got to wear...
Lounging about her house at this
Yes.
point. That's okay, yeah, what do you want?
Can I say loungewear Captain Marvel is pleasant?
Fair.
Just thought.
Yep.
Thought
Can't argue with that.
had to be shared.
Hannah says, I did laugh when they said, oh, he can speak, and she said he's bilingual. That was a good gag. I'll give that is a good gag.
It's a gag, but it would work better still if it was just he stops rhyming.
Yes. Yeah. Still works.
More subtle as well.
Yep.
Um,
Yes, because you can just subtly do it and then have one of them notice, hang on, you're not rhyming anymore.
yeah, I'm bilingual.
Yeah.
fine. Again, that doesn't...
Arguably a better gag at that point.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. The whole thing would be better if it wasn't singing. Because it's one of those... It's jarring when it just suddenly stops. Because it has this big musical number coming up the stairs and in the hall with the dance. There's all this effort. Where's the music coming from?
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff. And then what? Just no one speaks again? At all? Because you don't even get background rumblings from people. I admit.
Could you imagine, like, walking down a street on that planet? It'd be like free jazz.
Yeah, it would be like you've... a flash mob.
You know, like when you have an orchestra tuning up.
Well, I imagine it's all just one big song that happens because that's what's happened. But they were all having the same conversation.
The same conversation. That doesn't make any sense.
Fun. Oh god, yeah. It'll be like everyone started playing a song on their phone. It's like chavs on a bus.
Yeah.
That's what their planet's like, and nobody likes chavs, especially on a bus. Nobody likes buses.
I was gonna say buses either.
You get on a bus and you see a group of tracksuit adorning utes.
You get back off again.
Yeah, absolutely. You're just like, I'll walk.
Yes.
48 miles.
Getting a bus is on a journey that's 48 miles long.
I don't. That's obscene. Yeah,
That's a long way.
Yeah.
That's a very long bus journey. Think of all
is.
the stops.
48 miles on a bus. Yeah, that would take about 3 to 6 weeks, I
Yeah.
think. Fucking hell. Because a bus from mine to Crawley takes over an hour.
I know, yeah, it's ludicrous.
It's because you'll look at your phone and look up and you're in the wrong town.
Yeah.
Like, why have you gone this way? To pick up more bus stops. It's like, but there are bus stops on the road you haven't gone on, so who picks them up? I don't understand bus routes. They're stupid and should be abolished. Save the environment, not at the cost of buses. Too expensive, and they're not exactly very environment friendly, are they?
The ones in Crawley are electric.
I've never seen an electric bus in my life.
Have you ever seen the ones in Crawley?
I usually drive past a bus over there. Often. There's definitely not electric.
Maybe they're not all electric.
Yeah, it seems like that seems like an endeavour somewhere like Crawley can't afford.
Yeah, agreed.
But I've learned they can afford 42 schools within a...
Yes, there are many schools. Yes, we had this discussion the other day. That's not a bus, that's a car. I can't check if it's electric.
It's not, because you can hear it. To be fair, that noise was mostly tyre noise on the road, so I'll retract my snide comment. There's a bus!
Are you electric?
That's not electric. That bus was older than me.
Yeah, that was an old bus.
Fucking fascinating conversation.
Yes, I hated the singing planet.
Yes, agreed.
I'm glad that the Flurkin was back.
Yeah, it was good. I will say about that planet, they kind of just fucked off and they never...
Helped them.
Not even never helped them, because...
They abandoned
obviously-
them in the middle of the fight.
They abandoned them in the middle of the fight, which seems particularly un-superhero-y.
Yeah.
But also, we just never learn what happens and never see any of these characters again.
Well, I presume they were all dying in a drought.
I presume so, but follow up. Because this was a big, you set up to this. This was a big thing. You made us sit through some shitty musical numbers.
One of the lead characters is the princess of the planet.
Yeah, and just whatever. They must have gone back because they have the plate at the end.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So it just seems very odd. Just seems very odd. But anyway, you were moving on.
I love the Flurkins because I'm a cat person. I like cats, and the Flurkins are cats, but with squid tentacles that come out of their face, and that's hilarious. Camilla and I cottoned on straight away that the weird things they found were Flurkin eggs.
Okay.
That was just...
I did enjoy the way they kind of just what is happening?
It was really well done. The way it was brought into the movie of just oh, is this another it was introduced as if it was a weapon or something, and and at the same time they were talking about the fact that big bad was going to be going after Earth at the same time they're talking about it. Matt says at the end the other plans were, I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't. I've seen this movie twice now. I'd missed that both times.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's like, she'll be going after Earth. And it flashbacks and they're still trying to work out what these things are that are popping up everywhere all over the ship. But like they'd actually written it really well because like Kamala's mum makes a comment about like your cat's being weird and looks a bit podgy. Like just pointing out there's all these little references all the way through that actually this cat is laying some eggs or is or whatever or is in heat, whatever it might be. And we kind of said like flirking eggs. And then they were talking about when they started talking about when they were running out of pods, Camilla cottoned on. She was like, they're going to get the flirkins to eat everyone because you can get. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And also, that's hilarious.
It was a fantastic scene.
So
the logic
funny.
is so flawed.
Yeah.
But
oh, that is so funny, though.
Like,
It's such a funny idea.
if you eat a pie, you weigh what you weigh plus the pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know as much as her weight. Much weight was the problem, so much as just general room because the cats are smaller, so you can fit more of them on.
That's
the
true.
pods.
That's true. Still, the logic is flawed because where the fuck are they putting them? But they're also eating sofas and things like that, so it's fine. But it just adds to the comedy. I did enjoy that scene.
Yeah.
That's it. They're almost like a Jurassic Park
Yeah,
moment of they're hiding around the corner and just turning and there's cats. Yeah, it was great.
I loved the one where like she's looking this way and then turns around and the other two are behind her.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That was the exact moment I meant. And then just Kamala putting up the wall, just like, sorry. But
there's an announcement going along and it's like, do not be alarmed. They will eat you, but you will be okay.
let them eat you. You will be fine. And then I just like the en masse vomiting when they get to Earth.
Yes, I like that the Flurkin spat out the two guys at Kamala's house and then they lost interest, just like they do in real life with mice and frogs. Yeah, exactly the kind of thing. I've caught it. I don't care anymore. Now it's and just watch the carnage unfold.
I really enjoyed that scene in the house actually when they just spat out the two Kree and her family. They don't acknowledge that one of them's blue.
No.
They're just like, who are these guys? Yeah. And I will never understand why some Kree are blue and some aren't.
There's probably a reason.
Probably. We just never learn it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I still also like the working theory I have. I think it's already been discredited or disproved, but I have this working theory that every cat in the MCU is a Flurkin.
I don't think it's been disproved.
Well, I just like that as an idea. I like the idea that all cats are actually Flurkins, that they're just this, which is why they're so cat-like. Like, why cats are like they are is because they're actually an alien species. It's why they're so disinterested in the world.
Yeah, the only thing that would be like, is then because all the Flurkin are they're not shy about showing that they aren't cats.
True. Yeah.
So why would all these other cats? But we've only ever seen ones that have come from space, not ones that have been raised on Earth.
I know she said how many other MCU cats are there. I mean, I feel
there
are other cats in the world though. Like they all know what cats are.
Yeah.
I just mean like in that universe, all cats are Flurkins, not specifically ones we've seen on screen.
No, we've only seen. There's only been one other Marvel pet, I think.
Yeah,
that's Pizza Dog.
Yes.
Who we actually see in this movie.
I forgot that my girlfriend was in this movie.
You didn't know, did you?
No, I remember I saw that as a spoiler.
Oh, did you?
Because I think I messaged you about it.
Oh, yes, you did. You did.
And so that was a spoiler I had seen. And once it got to that point, I said out loud, I forgot my girlfriend was in this. And I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it will be cool. It will be cool to get Kate Bishop back eventually at some point with whatever other young Avengers they're going for. So far, it's just going to be them two and Cassie, I suspect. But there must be more because, no offense, that's not a very good team.
No, there more becoming, I should imagine.
I imagine there's going to be some weird multiverse shit with... Oh, no, we already know there's going to be some weird multiverse shit with, at the very least, Wiccan.
Yes.
But but he's way older, so I don't understand. Who knows? Who knows? Did you watch the post-credit scene?
Yes.
Ridiculous. Chaos.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, but it just keeps coming back to me of like, they've overdone their hand now. When it comes to just bringing back the same X-Men,
See, this
I'm
is
done with it now.
This is the part where you and I differ on the X-Men thing. We've discussed this before, so we don't need to have the whole conversation again. But obviously, as a reminder, I like the idea of having some of those actors and those characters, all those actors back for those X-Men characters, and you don't. You want it all reset. So it makes sense that we're going to have a differing opinion of that post-credit scene. Because I thought it was cool to see Kelsey Grammer there. And then... But yeah, maybe this will come into what Deadpool 3 is. You know, I like your theory of Deadpool 3.
Him wiping out the fuck, which I still think that, and that's what I hope. But but that then also makes this even more pointless.
And
And
it's a post-credit tease, though, isn't it? So
yeah, but if this is just going to be immediately wiped out, it's not teasing anything.
it's teasing the existence of them.
We've had that.
True.
We know that.
True.
I
I personally like seeing them just going like, yeah, we have these characters, we can do this now, and we can have the X-Men door in the back, and we can. I like that they're just going for it.
Yeah, I kind of wish they gained the rights to the characters and not the movies, and just had their. Just, I feel like they're just being. They're not putting any effort in to X-Men stuff because all the casting stuff has already been done, and I feel like also most of the cast were poor choices.
Yeah, we've said that before.
So
and I agree with that.
Yeah, so it's just I don't want any of these back. I don't want to be fair, it's obviously not because he was a poor choice, but I don't want them to set, and I don't think they will, but I don't want Hugh Jackman to be the main Wolverine, the MCU, just because he's clearly only going to be in for a maximum of one other thing past Deadpool 3.
I think we discussed well that he won't be.
No, yeah, for sure. But I mean, to me that applies to literally everyone. Just start again. Just cast again. Cast slightly younger, or focus on a different set of X-Men. You don't have to, because I actually think after Deadpool 3 we won't get Wolverine for a while.
I would imagine so.
Like the first couple of X-Men movies or whatever won't have Wolverine in them. Because he doesn't show up for a while. He did, like when X-Men first came out, everyone hated it, and it wasn't until whenever they did a reboot that we even got Wolverine anyway, comics wise. But yeah, I don't know. Just recast, redo. Cyclops, Gambit, Jubilee. Go for like the animated series lineup, which is the main lot, as you would expect it, but just recast them. I suspect the way we're going to get them is some weird multiversal thing.
Yeah.
Because it then explains away, but it doesn't quite explain away why you've slowly started to introduce mutants. That kind of contradicts, but then otherwise you're going to have to make the X-Men, including Professor X, all children. So that doesn't really line up either. So I suspect that that's what we're going to get. Or it's going to be a case of some of them are, some of them aren't. There's a weird multiversal event, the X-Men appear, and then more people from actually this universe start joining as mutants, which I've solved my own problem in my head. But yes. Anyway.
Did you have any other notes?
No.
Fair.
No, it was mainly I put shit villain, cool switches in the first fight.
Yep.
Singing planet is silly.
Agreed.
All the suits are awful.
Agreed.
Cats eat everyone.
Correct.
Yes. They finished the new Statue of Liberty.
They did.
In the end of No Way Home. We saw that for a femtosecond. Probably cost more than the budget of most movies to do that for no reason.
So, do you want to give this movie a score?
I think it's a solid 7.
Interesting. 7 is pretty solid. I couldn't decide between a 6 and a 7.
I just said 7. I would have actually gone for an in-between, because I think
In between a 6 and a 7?
7 and 8.
All right.
Oh, yeah, so The way I worded that wasn't very well. Because I think all the stuff that's really good is really good. All the stuff that's good is really good. All the stuff that's bad isn't really bad.
Correct.
So
I think this. I personally, I think the film was lacking any real weight.
for sure, I don't think every film needs weight to be good, though. That's just my.
No, you are right, but I feel like within the context of the MCU, then for me feels like it's lacking a little bit.
For sure.
It feels less.
For sure. Don't disagree with that.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Consequential.
Yeah, and it feels less important.
Yeah, that's fair. But then it comes down to, do we want to review within the context of the MCU, or do we want to review on his own?
For sure.
So I would go for it. I would have gone for a 7. Personally.
I can be happy with a 7. I can agree with a 7.
Cool.
There you go. We are
Pretty
scoring
solid.
a 7. And where do you want to put it on our ranking?
I love how it still says Oolon.
I did that deliberately. Should we go over the ranking thus far? It's been a while.
It has been a while. At number 1, we have Infinity War. At number 2, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. At number 3, we have Civil War. At number 4 is Endgame. At number 5 is Winter Soldier. At number 6, No Way Home. Number 7, Ragnarok. Number 8, Age of Ultron. At number 9, The First Avengers. Avengers 1, I should say, not the first. That gets confusing. Number 10, Far From Home. Number 11, Homecoming. Number 12, Shang-Chi. Number 13, Iron Man 3. Number 14, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 15, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Number 16, Iron Man. This is such a strange... Looking at this, I'm like, who made this? Number 17, Wakanda Forever. Number 18, Multiverse of Madness. Number 19, Ant-Man. Number 20, Doctor Strange. Number 21, Quantumania. Number 22, Black Widow. Number 23, Captain Marvel. Number 24, Black Panther. Number 25, Panther. Panther. It's like pincer with a lisp.
Correct.
Number 25, Thor. Number 26, we have Guardians of the Galaxy 2 twice. So number 14 is Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yes, what I've done there is fuck it up.
Number 26 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I was thinking, how the fuck is Guardians 2 that high? Number 27, Iron Man 2. Number 28, Cap America.
Didn't even notice that. Didn't notice that at all. That's staying.
Cap America. It sounds like one of those fuzzy capsules you put in a drink, almost like an Alka-Seltzer brand. Capaperica. Number 29 is Blank. Number 30 is Eternals. Number 31 is The Incredible Hulk. Number 32 is Thor: The Dark World. Number 33 is Love Plus Fun.
I think I know where I'd put this.
I know the region. I don't know exactly where.
Sounds like a Latin, but yeah, it does. Capaperica. 21. That's where I'd put it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I got there.
It's definitely better than Quantumania.
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's better than Captain Marvel. I think it's definitely better than Black Widow. I think it's definitely better than Quantumania. I don't think it's better than Doctor Strange. That was for me.
Yeah.
I like Doctor Strange. I very much like Doctor Strange as a movie. So
Doctor Strange, it's hard because of how many times I've seen these movies.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it difficult to look at objectively, because I think Doctor Strange is quite boring now. But that doesn't mean it's a boring movie. It means I'm bored of it.
Yeah. They're different things.
Yeah, 100%. And the problem with this being the past and opinions, because we're adults and we're constantly thinking about things and we're not set in our ways like these Twitter cunts.
Yeah.
Our opinions have changed and evolved.
Yeah.
So I look at this list.
There are things I would do differently as well now.
Like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
I think top 11 is... I wouldn't change a thing.
For a second, I thought you were about to suggest we put this in the top 11.
No.
Bold claim.
It's also inaccurate.
Yes.
But the area in which I always go, we've made a mistake here, is how Ant-Man and the Wasp is above Iron Man.
We've been meaning to look back.
13!
Oh, that's
Better than Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't be fooled by Chris's inability to write. That's Guardians 1.
type. I have an inability to write as well, but that's unrelated to this issue. That was typing.
Which is just writing electronically. It's...
No, that's way too high. Way
Yeah,
too
it's
high.
not better than Guardians. It's not better than Iron Man 3. It's not better than Iron Man. I kind of think it might be better than Wakanda Forever, but it's not better than Multiverse of Madness.
How have we got Multiverse of Madness below Wakanda Forever? How do we agree to that?
I don't fucking know. What's happened? I think it's one of those... Our brains are telling us movies are more boring than they clearly are.
Well, yeah, because we're going from like, it's, as you say, it's that thing. It's like I'm bored of it, as opposed to it is boring or it isn't good.
But not even that, but like my memory of Wakanda Forever is like, how could this be better than Multiverse of Madness? But clearly we watched it and said this is better than Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, we would have watched it after Multiverse of Madness too.
Yeah, which I think is the problem. Because we would have then calmed down on Multiverse of Madness. Like we are. Joined way too early. No. Way too late. We're about to finish.
Yes. I think the Multiverse of Madness thing came from we critiqued Multiverse of Madness for its messy use of the multiverse stuff.
That's true.
And the fact that there was hardly any multiverse in there. And the madness was the lack of the multiverse.
The madness was the editing.
Yes. I think that's why Wakanda then won out on that, because as a movie it was more sarcasm does not read over text too. That won out on the sense that as a movie it made more sense. It was more cohesive.
Why have I never done this before?
I don't know. Mainly because it puts your feet on stream.
Well, I'm wearing socks.
Inside out.
Yeah, I think that sock is inside out 100%.
I personally still sitting at 21 myself.
I'll agree.
If you want to make an argument for a higher spot, I'm happy to hear it.
I can't. I kind of... I'm kind of thinking more in the 20, but I don't have a justifiable argument as to why.
I just
Only
apparently your socks are dirty.
Are they?
I don't know, they're just grey.
I can't line it up with there is a thing on it. A splodge. Oh well. They're socks. They're there to prevent my feet from getting dirty. They've done their job.
Correct. I think Doctor Strange is a better movie categorically than what this is.
You're probably right. I'm just probably thinking of it going, I've seen that movie so many fucking times.
And if I was to think of it that way as well, and we were to go and watch a film right now, I'd actually prefer to put the Marvels on again than Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. But that's because it's recent and I've only seen it once. True.
And I think there's a lot of stuff in this that is better than Doctor Strange.
I agree with that too.
I just think it is a bit weighed down by like Mrs. Hiddleston and
yeah.
I don't know her actual name. I know she doesn't.
Mrs. Hiddleston is fine.
Yeah. Because I think Iman Vellani is one of the best that we've got in the MCU, especially currently. Considering we've got essentially no one. No regulars in the MCU at the minute. Fuck it. 21.
All right, we're putting the Marvels in place number 21 on our MCU ranking. Let's not read through the whole thing again.
No.
The next one to rank will be Deadpool.
Will be Deadpool 3, yeah. So it depends. Depends on the situation. I presume I will go and see it in the cinema.
Oh yeah, this is one I'll be going to see.
Yeah,
as it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. So around July.
Together on that one.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Ashton Zor or something like that. That sounds more made up than Mrs. Hiddleston.
Mrs. Hiddleston isn't made up.
Well, it's not her name though.
True.
She didn't change her name to Hiddleston.
She probably goes by Mrs. Hiddleston in some scenarios. I feel like there'll probably be scenarios where she's...
Not if she just didn't change her name.
Yeah, but people are dumb and assumptive, so they would, like, a server, for example, at a restaurant. Maybe, Mr. and Mrs. Hiddleston this way.
That's less goes by and gets called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Because I can go, hello, cunt. You don't go by
You would lose your job in customer service. Again.
a shit. What do you mean again?
It's funny, comedy.
Is Bristol far from Crawley? Yes.
Barely.
Fairly. Hang on. How far?
Many hours.
Yeah, it's a good couple of hours.
Like 4 or 5?
I don't think it's that far.
Bristol, yeah.
2.5.
Oh, fuck me.
It's only 105 miles.
Still many miles.
It's many miles. It's closer to Wales.
That would take a long time on a bus.
It would take a long time on a bus. You would have to take at least 2 buses.
Yeah, you would have to switch buses.
Tragedy.
Yeah.
That's worse than having to change trains. What do you mean you're not going to outside
Oh
the...
my God, I have a train story.
Oh, Christ.
I was on a train the other day, coming back from London.
You are bashing it, I bet.
And, well. Train was at London Victoria, right? We got on the train. Train wasn't going anywhere. Train was due to leave in like 5 minutes. It didn't leave. It had been sat on the train for 15 minutes. It hadn't gone anywhere. We're like, what's going on with this train? And then the guard came over the tannoy and was like, very sorry for the delay. We're having a problem with the cameras. We can't proceed until the security cameras work. So we're going to turn the train off and on again. And I thought that was fucking hilarious. The way they fixed it was to turn the train off and then on again. And I just thought that was so funny. And they were like, yeah, the doors are going to close and you're going to be in darkness for a little bit, but don't panic. It will all come back on. And they switched the train off and it went dead silent and everything turned off and the doors went off and the doors locked and everything. And then they rebooted the train and it was just really bizarre. And you know the bit like where Hannah will probably know this. She works with trains, but the thing on the inside, the little screen that says like the next station. Mm-hmm. When the train turns on, that does a little start-up sequence with a little animation, and it says the model, like the brand of the train and stuff comes up, and it was like, look at that! I was having the time of my life. And I just thought the whole thing, and then it was like, camera's working, we can go now. I just thought that was so funny. I thought that was just really funny. Tim, there was a fair enough school and a representative from Nottingham, Trent University. Seemed kind of interested me to join the undergraduate program. So that's in Clifton, Bristol. So Nottingham, Trent University does make sense. It should be in Nottingham, shouldn't it?
It does. Let me... Nottingham, Trent University. Clifton campus. It is very much in Nottingham. Is there a Clifton, Bristol? There is. There is this is confusing because there is also a Clifton is offered in the... What? Why do they have then a Clifton branch in Nottingham and then another one? That's just how to confuse people. This is why no one wants to go to uni anymore.
Yeah, that and
They can't even find where the fucking uni is. That and it's £9 million.
Yeah, exactly. On the nose. Right.
That's quite a commute, though. That's quite a commute for you. I imagine that wouldn't be a daily thing.
Yeah.
That's so many buses.
You would need a bus with wings. Just run it on Red Bull. Right. What's next, Jack? What's next on the channel? On the Chanel?
At some point, I presume, because it has to be now, because I've made plans, On the 23rd of March, because it's the 30th, you can't do, isn't it? Okay, good. I haven't fucked this up the wrong way.
Yeah.
23rd of March will be the next Rabbit Hole show.
The Rabbit Hole Show.
Start sending us audience topics already, and we can crack down, because last month we didn't really have one.
I've got a great idea for a topic for the next show. We are going to discuss the startup sequences of different trains.
It's a birthday
kidding.
show.
I'm kidding.
We'll get Kristian to sing you happy birthday
I can do that.
with a guitar and everything.
I can do that if you want me to. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, no, that's. I googled it as well. There is a Clifton Bristol, but the Clifton branch of Nottingham University did say it was in Nottingham. I would like to say and warn, they're quite far apart, so double check that before you make the
Nottingham
journey.
is much further away from Crawley than Bristol is.
Well, it's about 30 miles difference. It's just in a completely different direction.
Oh.
Bristol's that way.
Turns out my knowledge of the UK geography is poor.
I think it's just the UK is much smaller than you think it is.
Maybe.
Because within 300 miles you can be in Scotland.
That's true. I'm going to Manchester.
Not within 300
I'm
miles.
going to Manchester and then Newcastle over the space of like 4 days at the end of March.
Scottish border. Scottish border? That's not that far up. Hang on. This is about 20 minutes over the Dumfries.
Can you do me a favour and just say that town name in your local accent for me? Because I do enjoy it.
Dumfries.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, it's far. 385 miles. But that's into Scotland.
Yeah.
Dumfries. How far away is Edinburgh? Edinburgh!
This show has derailed.
Your mum's derailed.
Wow.
Why would it tell me how far it is? $448 miles.
Right.
Shall we walk?
Why not? Oh, no, I've dropped my pen. I don't need it. Shall we end the show and have a fight with a computer?
Have a fight with the computer and sort out some tickets.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, thank you for joining us, Toom and Hannah, for this ad hoc episode of Admit 1 ranking the MCU, which we shall continue in July when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. As Jack was saying, 23rd of March will be the next Rabbit Hole show, so do put your audience topic suggestions forward so we can continue to have a fun and exciting conversation when we reconvene.
Quite.
At the end of the month. Jack, is there anything else you would like to add?
No. I said no and then immediately went to speak. I'm sure there will be more Admit ones along the way. I'd very much like to do Mission Impossible.
So would I, and Fast.
And Fast 10. I'd very much. I would. Actually, there are more rankings that I'd quite like to do. Did we rank Fast and Mission Impossible?
We were Fast was the first one we started ranking. We didn't do Mission Impossible.
Okay. So once we get to the... We should rank based entirely off of memory.
We can do that.
When we get to 7.
I often wank entirely off of memory.
10 out of 10 fucking comedy. Do we have a record of the ranking for Fast?
Well, it'll be on if we go and watch the final episode.
Oh, that's so much work.
I'm going to watch the whole episode. We'll just skip to the time code where we do the ranking.
Oh, that's like a half-hour window. We'll do that. I would quite like for us to start a ranking of all the PlayStation productions.
We can do that. That would involve me having to watch some of them.
Yes.
So I've not seen Gran Turismo or Twisted Metal.
Yes.
Or...
That's it. There's only that. Last of Us and Uncharted.
Oh.
So that's it so far. The fucking problem... The problem is Twisted Metal isn't available anywhere.
Yes.
It's,
Without piracy. That's fine. I don't mind pirating it.
well, yeah, that's Twisted Metal's fault. That's what you get for signing up with fucking Peacock. Twat.
I did see something about Peacock and Paramount were looking at merging.
That makes sense.
which means we'd then get Peacock over here as part of Paramount. But I also saw someone point out, what's the point in this? Why don't we just have cable TV in the end and be done with it?
Yeah. 100%.
Now they will merge.
We're at
together
a point now. I was actually thinking, well, merging together, and also there's just too fucking many of them, and everything is all split up.
Yeah.
The point of streaming was because it was Netflix.
Yes.
End of discussion. It was Netflix. But I was actually thinking of maybe my topic being the state of streaming services, like including gaming and movies and all that kind of stuff, because I think it's in complete fucking chaos.
It is absolutely chaos.
And the way it's going, I don't think it will be around for, in the grand scheme of things, that much longer.
Agreed.
Because it needs to
Not
change.
in its current form.
No, it needs to change because it's too expensive. And I'll save it for the show mainly, but it's not justifying its expense.
Agreed.
And it wouldn't keep getting it more expensive if it was working.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into that. And then I have other questions I wish to raise and discuss with you and Father. So we'll get to that. I think that probably will be my topic.
Will be. You're going to talk about streaming services. I'm going to talk about the startup sequences of trains.
No.
Oh, it's going to be exciting.
That's just a really brief topic.
What? Why would it be? I feel like different models and brands of trains have different startup sequences.
When are you going to have the time to go and look at them all?
I'm going to research it.
But it's got to be the same. It's just going to say like Choo Choo Magoo or like
Definitely not. It's not a brand of train.
Thomas.
No, that's not a brand of train either.
Fucking is.
There's a name of a character.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
It,
Oh, fine then.
who isn't even a tank engine. There's a thing. I'm sure I remember reading
Say that to his face.
that Thomas isn't actually a tank. Is Thomas?
Do you remember the absolute fucking ferociousness of that show?
Yeah.
I remember.
There's one where they brick one of them in a
That's the one I was going to bring up. Don't they like forever and ever brick George into a tunnel or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely chaotic. Feral punishment. Oh, shit.
Oh no, he is a tank engine.
So you're just throwing around slander now, willy-nilly.
Yeah. Right, should we go?
Took the rails away. Fucking hell. That's some medieval shit.
Also, that's hard work, taking the rails away. That's a lot of work, especially for trains. They haven't got thumbs.
But it wasn't the trains that did it. It was the obese man in charge.
Ah,
And
yes.
his merry men.
The rotund captain.
Yes,
They called him it.
fat fuck manipulator, I think his name was. Anyway, thank you very much for joining. Remember to join on the 23rd of March for the Rabbit Hole Show, where clearly I'm going to be talking about streaming services, and other things that I've been playing and watching, and as will everybody else.
Bye.